Good afternoon and welcome to the weekly press briefing of the Kosovo Specialist Chambers, where we aim to provide journalists with an update on the latest developments at the court and the opportunity to ask questions. The trial panel in the Thaci et al. Case, after careful consideration of the parties' submissions, issued an order on the conduct of proceedings, which governs the conduct in the courtroom during trial, the disclosure process, the presentation and admission of evidence, the scheduling, questioning, and cross-examination of witnesses, and other issues necessary to ensure fair and expeditious proceedings. In this order, the trial panel reminds the parties to respect the public character of the proceedings and emphasizes that private sessions should only be requested where strictly necessary. Parties are asked to file all written submissions as public documents and to limit confidential matters as much as possible. In regards to the authenticity and admissibility of evidence, the trial panel points out that it is the parties' responsibility to provide information regarding the origin of exhibits and what steps have been taken to verify the information. As such, the trial panel encourages the parties to set a high threshold for themselves when assessing the evidence that they intend to use during trial. The order remains subject to future variation by the trial panel where necessary as the trial progresses. The document is published on the KSC website. In the case of Mr. Pieter Schala, Trial Panel 1 partially granted the defense's request to appeal certain parts of its decision to admit Mr. Schala's interview with the ICTY in 2005 and 2007, as well as his interviews with Belgian authorities in 2016 and 2019 into evidence. In particular, the panel granted Mr. Schala's request to appeal the trial panel's finding that he was sufficiently informed of the nature of the suspicion against him when he gave those interviews, and whether he was sufficiently informed when he waived his right to have access to a lawyer on those occasions. In the case of Mr. Salih Mustafa, a public redacted version of the trial judgment has been published and is available on the KSC website. In the case of Mr. Hisni Guzzati and Mr. Nassim Haradinaj, the appeals panel will pronounce the appeal judgment on Thursday, 2nd February 2023 at 2 in the afternoon. The hearing can be followed in all 3 languages of the court through the streaming function on the KSC website with a short delay, or from the KSC's public gallery. Please note that pre-registration is required to follow the rendering of the appeal judgment from the public gallery. The deadline to pre-register is Tuesday, 31st of January, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. In an effort to prevent the weekly press briefing from coinciding with the pronouncement of the Appeals Chamber's judgment, next week's press briefing will be held at 4:30 in the afternoon. Journalists can attend via Zoom or in person in the press briefing room of the KSC. Please kindly notify the Public Information and Communication team if you would like to join the briefing in the press briefing room.